Hi, this is John Leone from Radio Listeners ElectricEasel.com Incorporated. We are trying to finish up exercise 1 in this video, so I'm going to get right to task. If you're following the steps via the Google website, this is step 9. And step 9 is setting up the menu in the beginning. Well, no, all of step 9 is setting up the menu. Now, all I did was take the menu is passed on create options menu, and the result on create options menu. So the first thing you do is you call a parent, create the menu. Then this is the new code added, and they want to add this insert ID, and notice that squiggly lines, and then we got R string menu insert. Now what the heck is this? Now this is the mythical R, and what we got here, menu insert, is some hexadecimal number, even though it's defined as an int, so I guess that rounds to an integer. Where does it come from? It comes from this goodie over here, strings XML. We worked on a previous video, the menu insert, and it's going to say add item. So now let's go back to where we were. And so this menu insert right here is a menu item that says add item, and it has an ID. Now the ID is a squiggly line because we got to paste something else in. If we go to the top of the class over here and we add this, we give an insert ID, and ID, which is an integer of menu dot first. So it's the first menu item, and OX1 is the hexadecimal, and 1, so it goes. Okay, now that's that part, and now we want to parse out the menu. Okay, let's rock. I'm trying to get some speed in my fingers on this. Now this is on options item selected, and it's a menu item. Now the only menu item we added was add item, and it has insert ID of menu first item. This is that constant again, insert ID, which is the only possible answer. And now it's got something called create note, which we haven't defined yet, so it'll create a note and return true, so it'll exit the subroutine. If for some reason the switch statement of get an item ID says somewhere else you added another menu item and it wasn't defined here, what it does, it basically calls the parent. Now the only time it'll call a parent is when the item doesn't exist in these case statements, which actually should never happen, but for completeness it's there. Okay, now let's add these create note, finalize note, all that good stuff. Now if you recall, what I just showed you before is they're the two that are missing. Now I'm pasting in create note. Keep your eye on this squiggly. Here we go. Now watch this. Now I'm pasting it in right now. See it go away? The reason it went away is because here we have create note. Now create note calls fill data, which still has squiggly, and up here fill data has a squiggly. That's our next tackling. But let's tackle this. String note name is note plus mnote number. Now mnote number is just an integer. We're going to keep a count. So when you first do it, when we get to run, and we just may in this one, it's going to basically say note 1, note 2, note 3, note 4 for completeness. In future versions you actually say what the title is. Now this create note is a horse of a different color. This is MDB helper and create note, which, if you remember back in the first video, we wrote it here. Now this is in the Notes DB adapter, and it's expecting a title and a body. And we did all this, if you recall. You can always refer back to the earlier video. Now here's the title, and the body is blank. It's calling that routine, and they're all calling fill data. Okay, well, let's talk about fill data. Let's paste it in. Okay, and now watch this while I paste fill data in. As soon as it's pasted in, that goes away. Squiggly gone. We got more squigglies though. We got simple cursor adapter and cursor, which are not included. But if we click our Auto Magic Repairer, it includes cursor, and then it includes cursor adapter and Android widget. Okie doke. And where did they go? If you remember, I got this expanded here. Shrink it. This is what you'll normally see. But if you put the mouse over here, it lists them itemized, and here you can see cursor, and here you see simple cursor adapter. Okay. And what does this do? It gets the cursor, it grabs all the notes. This will be 0 at first, and then it'll start them. And then it'll manage the cursor. And what do we got here? Now, this is two arrays, string array and an int array. This one holds ID, this one holds title. What this is doing is when you open the application and your list adapter comes up, it's going to have these titles and it's going to be associated with an ID number. Now, if you remember about the the ID is that auto increment number. And what this basically does, takes a notes row and the from and the to. Now, if you do any ordering in your SQL or loading of this one, you have to do the same ordering here, because this is a relationship between note title and the ID of the given note. And because these accept the default, they reconcile out. Okay, we got 827. I'm not going to stop it just yet. I'm going to save it. And let's see if this baby runs. But click on that. Click on this. We want an Android application. Now this, the first time you call this, it takes a second, well it actually takes about a minute, to run the Notes emulator. However, once you've been running for a while, it will run much quicker. And here is the Notes emulator. Hopefully we won't crash the system by all this stuff in memory. But it seems to be recording fine, and we're at like 9.13, 9.14. But the first time it runs, it actually boots up the Linux. I believe that's what it does. It boots up the Linux, the Delvic, and whatnot. And here's our little Android icon. And let's see if we got a menu. Oh no, this is still booting. We're running out of time and it's booting. Will we finish with this video or will we have to go to another one? Here it is. And I think it'll load the program. Let's see. Let's wait. And we're very close to the end of the 10 minutes. But now, if you recall, we changed that string that said no notes to why don't you want to write some notes. And if we go to the menu, there's only one item, add item, and here it is, note 1. And if we recall, up here, note plus note number is note 1. And if we bring Android up again, I gotta sign out, right? To menu, add item, and that's note 2. Okay, radio listener, electriceasel.com. I'm radio listener signing off. Thanks for watching.